Hey y'all, this is Cynful Ghost, also known as Kodeine Haze, and I'm going to be doing a product review on Apricot Paws Feety Peets. It has been recently updated for the female legacy body only. I'm sorry fellas, but the male legacy body is to be announced at the moment with Apricot Paws. Apricot Paws Feety Peets are available for male and female. You cannot get them in the same packaging, so you have to buy them separate. The Feety Peets cost roughly 497 Linden on Marketplace and in World. The Apricot Paws Feety Peets are Omega compatible, but out of the box, it is not. So you need the Omega system relay. And that is also at her store and on Marketplace for 99 Linden. As I said before, the Apricot Paws Feety Peets have been updated for not only Legacy Body, but it is also BOM, which means Baked on Mesh Ready. If you do not have a Baked on Mesh HUD, it is also on Marketplace, available by Apricot Paws for free. And I will link all of this information down in the description box and also on my blog. Now we're just going to go ahead and get to unpackaging and talking about everything of that nature. Let's just go ahead and scroll. Apricot Paws is on Twitter, Flickr, and Fur Infinity. They also have their own website, and you can also go to Marketplace. All this will be linked below. This is Apricot Paws packaging. It's very simple. It's a HUD, so you can wear it and it will automatically give you the items, but you have to click it to unpack it. It's not automatic. I apologize for that one. Just click the unpacker and it'll give you the items. Now we resed it, so we'll just go ahead, right click, select open. Everything's in its box, and then we're going to click copy to inventory. I'm already a step ahead of you guys, so we're just going to go ahead and open my inventory, and then we're just going to pan back over. Now for the female Feety Peets, you have a lot more body selection. It's available for Beliza, Freya, Isis, and Venus, Slink Physique, and Slink Hourglass, Maitreya, and Legacy. So if you have different bodies, then it's trial and error. You just have to demo it and figure out how to go about wearing them. But it's pretty easy and self-explanatory. Just they're already rigged, so just right click, add, and wear them. So since we are already in Legacy, we'll be focusing more on Legacy. Now when you get the packaging, it's going to have a texture preview, 2 note cards. One is the TOS and one is giving you on tips and tricks on how to get your Omega skin on your Feety Peets. So we'll just go ahead and wait for that to load up. We're going to stretch it out so you guys can see it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It shows you what they look like, the 4 different poses. It tells you that it's Omega ready, mod copy, no transfer, what it's fitted for, toggable claws, toggable paw pads, baked on mesh ready, and Omega compatible. Then we're going to click on the TOS, as I call it, and it's in 5 categories. It talks about Omega, the sizing, the HUD, baked on mesh, resources, and update notes. I will just briefly go through these and just talk a little bit about them. The Omega is basically telling you that, out of the box it's not Omega ready. You need to relay. You can get it at her main store, marketplace, or the Omega main store. It talks about the sizing, Beliza, Slink, Maitreya, and Legacy. You have the 4 poses: flat, mid, high, and digi. And then section 2, it talks about the HUD. You have the options tab, and then you have the tinting tab. Everything is pretty much explanatory. We'll get more into that when we look at the HUD. You have ankle lock. You have toggleable options. You have pictures that helps explain. Your tinting tab is pretty much self-explanatory. You can be able to tint the skin, fur, paw pads, claws, and markings. You're able to save. You're able to load, input the RGB, and you can do the glow amount also. Then third is baked on mesh. I'm not really too fluent on the baked on mesh, but basically it's just giving the mesh body more wearable layers. The resources is basically you will go to apricotpaws.com/dev-kits/ and there you can get the dev kits, the UV maps, and more information on how to use the Feety Peets creator kits and clothing and accessories and stuff like that. Then you have the last section, which is update notes, and it focuses more on what she's updated and what was fixed, what was glitching, and everything of that sorts. And like I said, the legacy is added and the bank is baked on mesh ready. Now we're just gonna go ahead and exit out of that. The last note card is basically saying, why isn't my skin apply working? It's just basically saying, check these things to make sure that it's working, and if it's still not working, you can always contact Z Minotaur or for help. So it's more of a troubleshooting note card. Alright, now we're going to go and we're going to find the legacy, and we're going to click on, I'm partial to the high feet, so we'll right click and select our, it was also inputted in a couple updates that the Feety Peets were updated so that you can resize them in your shape. When you edit your shape, you can resize your feet, and your Feety Peets will get bigger or smaller, however you see fit. And so as you can see, once we attached our Apricot Paws Feety Peets high for the legacy body, it's pretty much just a standard base skin. It's very blank, flat, however you want it. It's just bland. So we're going to fix this by going to the Omega Relay that we have up here. We're just going to go ahead and double click that. A lot of text will pop up and saying, alright, searching or getting ready to install your Omega Relay. So it's already installed. Just give it a couple of seconds. It's already installed. Now, if you already have a custom skin or maybe a pre-bought skin from like Ghosted, or someone made you a custom skin, just go ahead and wear the relay. I have a custom skin made by Persuasion, and I will link her marketplace in the description and on my blog also. So I have the Omega relay ready for my custom skin. I'm going to go ahead and double click that. Okay, yep, there it goes. Sorry. Take a minute. Okay, I got my skin on. Not really too happy with this. As some of you guys know, my Peets and everything are completely different. So, some of you that follow me know that my markings and paws are different. So we're just going to go ahead and go back to our inventory, locate the HUD, right click, and add. This is actually where the HUD sits, but I don't like it like that, so I'm just going to go ahead and move it over to this area. Now, as I said, this is the standard Feety Peets HUD. You have brand name up top, website, Flickr, marketplace. Options tab is basically really self-explanatory. You have the marking layer. You can toggle that on, off, no markings, no nothing. You're just in your base skin that you wore, that you clicked on for your Omega, and then we'll toggle that back on. You have your paw pads, which comes off, on. Your claws is on, or you can have short claws. You can have long claws. There we go. I'm partial to the short claws. They look more cuter. There we go. Then you have 4 gradient settings right here, which will determine the color input for your claws. Basically like a completely white, off-white, gray, and just black. So we'll just go to each color so you can see what they look like. And then black. And then I'm partial to the white ones because I like to wear nail polish. Paw pads, soft, molted, leathery. I float between soft and molted, but I like to wear molted a lot because it just gives me that great texture. And in that corner, I will show you up close and personal what those textures look like, more up close and personal. Now, the markings layer, you have a hue slider right here. The more to the right is the more brighter it's going to be. More to the left, the darker it's going to be, and it's not much visibility. I like it to have it all the way over to the left because I like to have my markings visible. Foot and pads, basically it's saying that here the whole foot is covered by your markings. Your actual skin stops at the ankle base. So think of it like you're wearing socks. Now I'm going to go ahead over to this corner so I can explain how the markings versus foot and pad works. This is the bottom of your foot. As I said, we have paw pads on. They're not visible because they're under the ground. We're focusing on the marking layer. This is the foot. It's completely covered. Your paw pads are on, so vision that your paw pad is there. But how it is that the marking layer covers the whole bottom foot. There's no shadow of the paw pads, outlines of the paw pads. Now when you click on pads, it shows the outlines for the paw pads. So it's basically going all around the paw pads. That's basically what that means. And like I said, you can turn the markings on, off, visibility, etc. So that's basically what that means. We're going to go ahead and hit Control Z until it's back in its rightful position. We're going to look at each and individual piece. This is the whole foot. This is the foot and heel. So it's only doing partial of it. And then you have the toes and ball of the foot. This is toes, toes and ball, foot and heel. I like toes and ball. And we're going to have the pad on. Okay, now we're going to go to the alpha. Alpha tab is very self-explanatory. This was also newly implemented a couple of updates ago, and I was so happy. But the alpha tab is very self-explanatory, so we're not going to go into full detail there. Moving along to the tinting tab. This is also something new in this tab also. So, like I said earlier, you have skin, fur, paw pads, claws, markings. You're probably wondering what these 4 buttons are underneath paw pads, claws, and markings. That's your glow. The first tab is no glow. Second tab is 0.5 glow. And then your third tab is like really glow. And then your final tab is like full bright. So we're just going to go to no glow, click on paw pads. Everyone knows that my paws pads are green. So find whichever paw pad color that you want. Go ahead. Sky's the limit. But my paws are neon green. I want them bright as possible. And I also have it on glow, the second one, the 0.5. And that's it. And to save me some hassle, I'm going to go ahead and click save. So in the future, whenever I do my Feety Peets for my hourglass body, all I have to do is just do the Omega Relay and click on, put the HUD on, and then click on paw pads and click on my saved color, which is my neon green. Also, here's the input RGB right here, and here's the swatch as it was in the options. More up is vibrant and bright, and it's showing and good, and then the bottom is just pure black. It's nothing, no color, just black. But we want it up as high as it goes. Sometimes I float to high, and sometimes I go down here. It just really depends. But it's mostly all the way up. The claws is self-explanatory too. And basically the same thing over here for the glow applies to claws and markings. You can change the color of your claws just by clicking around and etc. This middle box on the tinting HUD, it says left and right, and it has paw prints up there. That's basically saying that you can individually click your paw pads. So I want this paw to be, we're going to click on paw pads, and then we're going to click on that. So I want that paw pad to be blue. it's going to turn blue. That one, just that one. I want this one to be teal. I want that one to be yellow. And I want this one to be like a light teal, baby blue color. And I want the main paw to be like pink. That's basically all it's doing. It's giving you more of a selection on how you treat your paw pads. But if you want them all one color, just go back and click, apply, and there you go. All one unified color. And you can do that with your claws too, with your nails. Your marking color, it tints the markings, which is the white. And my markings aren't pure white anymore. They're more the off-white gray color. So I'm not going to input the RGB. I'm just going to go ahead and just eyeball it. So something like that. There we go. So now we have our Peets done and on. And I'm going to show you the different Peets from a side view. This is Digi. This is Flat. Pan out. This is High. And over here you have Mid. But overall, the pricing for the Feety Peets it's very decent and it's affordable. And I'm pleased to say that I'm very happy with how it turned out with the Legacy. There's no glitch, there's no clipping, I have not seen anything wrong with them. And I just want to say just thank you for stopping by and viewing this. And make sure you go to Apricot Paws and try the Feety Peets out for the Legacy body.